one, how we got this far in viewer builds, I raised the price. Viewer builds used to be dirt cheap. Inflation hit it, and it's still not expensive enough. We're still breaking triple digits somehow, which is fantastic. It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. So I do want to thank everyone for submitting your builds. Today we have a spicy one, according to the viewer. I don't get to say it's spicy. Only the viewer decides if it is or not. Let's kill the music. Yo, Cup Addiction. First time watching live stream, great videos on YouTube. You gonna disappoint, I doubt. I mean, it's the viewer's build. Cup. I can only do as much as the viewer allows me to. If the viewer says, V, I want you to use every item that you have in the F tier. What am I gonna do? What's the option? If the viewer says, hey V, here's every single best busted item you could possibly ask for, then maybe it's on me. That's all I'm saying. Let me kill some of the integration stuff. We don't need all of this on. How was everyone's Sunday, by the way? And Saturday, if I missed you all on Saturday. If you want to just type in the chat what you did over the weekend. Maybe you beat a game for the first time. Maybe you bought more games when you told yourself you have enough games. You can't buy anymore. Maybe you didn't play any games. Maybe you touched grass. Let me know if you touched grass this weekend. I think these are fine. Wait, I think I'm supposed to have votes on the right. Oh, am I on viewer? I am, but I'm pretty sure, because I was doing some testing over the weekend. We'll do that. And then I need a BOTD. Watch soccer and drink, but not the fun. Wait. But not the fun kind? Your team is atrocious? Casper, without doxing yourself, would you want to tell us what your team is? And maybe people can agree or disagree if they are trash or not. There was some other stream. Well, I have a fresh bread in the house for the first time in months, thanks to Saturday and Sunday. Fresh as in you baked it yourself, or fresh as you went somewhere and got fresh bread? Shogun Salty, got my wisdom removed, bought a Switch and Monster Hunter Rise as a reward. Congratulations, Salty, for getting those wisdom teeth out and then hooking yourself up with some Pog afterward. Touch grass for the first time in weeks. No joke, you haven't gone outside regularly. I'm in the same boat. Work from home scenario, and then I didn't have to go to Taco Bell today. So that makes it a lot easier to never touch grass. Okay, viewer build. War Spear. This is already looking good. I mean, when I see War Spear in the set, you know good things are about to happen. Tentacle. Interesting. Corrupted Power. And it looks like everything else is... Oh, Grapple Hook. Grapple Hook, Corrupted Power. It's pretty spicy, if I do say so myself. Alright, so we got those. Mutations are Kill Rhythm. I'm gonna go ahead and set it so I make sure that I pick the right things. Kill Rhythm. Heart of Ice. The Heart of Ice is interesting. I don't even know how that's gonna activate. Wait, so all of my colors are yellow and I have no idea what's what. Heart of Ice. Gastro. and soldier's resistance. Okay, and then we'll read the rest after. Just gotta change out these colors. Holy smokes. All right, catching up to the weekend stuff. All right, good, everybody. So according to this build, and like I am really dissecting this because this is survival. And I'm not going to use a colorless tentacle. I'm gonna make this as legit as possible with the assumption that this stuff might show up. I guess technically you could play it as brutality, but Heart of Ice is in here. I don't know what you're supposed to play this as. But either way, it says, use tentacle as a movement tool. As it makes contact with the monster, you can spear after. That way you reach the monster without having to dodge roll or anything like that. Hook is there in case something bad happens, little reset button. And then Corrupted Power is there for bosses. With Heart of Ice, you should have it for every single engage. We gotta change out these colors, my god. Accessibility. I think I'm supposed to play the survival because this has kill rhythm in it. Yo, Black Fox, I appreciate the questions. In my chat, at least, we try to go with spoiler as the name of the boss. I know people are watching my stream for a while and are like completely knowledgeable of everything game-wise, but we do have some people coming in for the first time, people from YouTube, people who just installed the game. So it's just a little common courtesy for those folks. What's the best build to do stuff in? I still think Barb Tips builds are the way to go. The only issue is getting to the boss with the Barb Tips build because now it's tactics, and tactics means that, hey, you have no HP bar. So there's like that's the issue. I'm gonna set my opening gear. Just to make sure we have these. After Barb Tips, I would say any dot build. For example, you may be using Fire Blast while Brutality, or Snake Fang while Brutality. Those also do very good. Or some kind of like burn the ground with burning oil. Face Flask also does a very good job. Face Flask Vengeance builds. Face Flask also often gives you burn the ground with oil. Let's do... I don't know how I want to play this. I feel like this is gonna be kind of boosted for a little while. I can only assume that the viewer knows what I'm supposed to be doing. The viewer in this case is Anzia. I don't believe we have Anzia today, but we're gonna have to assume that we know everything Anzia wants us to do. Now that concept right there, that does not look half bad. Yeah, and you can kind of like complete the combo. Ooh, it gives you iframes too. Interesting, interesting. The character does a little like pause. It's kind of weird. But I'm gonna assume that when you have the kill rhythm, it's gonna be like less and less obvious. How does Face Flask work? That's a good question. So someone in YouTube comments asked that as well. Specifically on the video where we had where we had the original Face Flask before it was nerfed. The original Face Flask used to give you healing in the same way that recovery works, it gave you a yellow bar that you could fill while dealing damage to yourself. And they decided to get rid of that, and I remember it. We were at PAX East, and I don't know if this was before or after Face Flask had already been nerfed, but the devs were saying, V, how do you like the Face Flask? I said, you know what, it's extremely busted. And this is the people from Evil Empire, by the way. So as you all know, the Dead Cells development is under Evil Empire's wing right now, where Motion Twin is the creative not really creative director, but they have the final say on all the stuff that comes out for Dead Cells still. So according to the Evil Empire devs, they were told that anytime you put healing in the game, the players will break it. So in turn, wow, I actually dodged that. In turn, adding healing to Dead Cells is mostly a no-no. And that's what the devs said to me, like, verbatim. Bonus damage while you're full. So they got rid of the healing and said, you know what, we'll just have a basic item where all it does is hurt you. And like, when you think about that, it's like, okay, V, in what world do I want an item to only hurt me and do nothing else? There's a couple of instances. One being Spite Sword. Spite Sword, as you know, when you take damage, you crit. The Face Flask actually does 5 damage to you, so it will actually activate Spite Sword when you get tagged. After Spite Sword, there is Vengeance. Vengeance gives you a 60% damage bonus when you get hit. The Face Flask hits you, so you are actually taking not only less damage, but dealing more damage, even if you're not playing Tactics. I mean, not Tactics, I'm sorry. Even if you're not playing Brutality. It still does an incredible amount of bonus damage and damage reduction. Then, on the Bank update, the Bank being like the probably coolest thing, with the Bank, they added Midas Blood and Dagger of Counter. Midas Blood gives you money whenever you get hurt, and that includes Face Flask. The Face Flask, it's only, what, $15 that you're getting out of it? But the $15 is actually enough to activate. Am I going this way? I think this is right. It's actually enough. Maybe it's not, maybe. Hang on, I gotta think about where I'm actually going here. It might be Promenade. I just don't want to get dodged by failed experiments. So where we left off. It's enough for Dagger of Profit to activate. 15 bucks, even in a boss fight. You could be fighting Hand of the King. No money to come from Hand of the King at all, unless he hits you. You're actually able to get the money based off of activating Face Flask. And that gives you the crits on Dagger Profit. There's a couple of other really small things in there. For example, you could be using an amulet that does poison around you. Sometimes the Face Flask does burning oil around you or something like that. And all that's really nice. You can also get the rarest of them all, the $20,000 base set first edition Face Flask. That one gives you move speed for 10 seconds, which works with Swift Sword. So really cool options out there. Scary? Yo, Marcus with a viewer build. Thank you, Marcus. That is Fire Blast, which honestly, we haven't seen a Fire Blast viewer build almost ever. Bloodthirsty Serenade. Try to find the legendary Oily Serenade. Ooh, sick jump. Nice, nice, thank you. I don't think I've played the Legendary Serenade yet. But a little peek behind the curtain, I'm working on that legendary items tier list. And we got Serenade way up there. I'm not gonna leak what the number is, but it is definitely a number. I can confirm it is a number or a letter. How did I get this skin again? I thought I turned this skin off. What in the world? Not doing any of this. So they also nerfed the War Spear, by the way, so we can't get the like heavy status, does bonus damage against anything for free, or slows all enemies. They actually got rid of that. Hopefully we'll be fine without. What does Legendary Serenade do? Legendary Serenade has unlimited uptime on Serenade itself. So that means even if you don't hit an enemy, there's no countdown. It's just always active. So what I assume the idea from Marcus is, if you have a Legendary Serenade and it's oily, you will always have the ability to crit on your Fire Blast. This is kind of fun. Like being able to just move to the enemy like this. Not bad, not bad. How do you get that skin? I think Black Fox got this skin just today. Is that right, Black Fox? Unlucky. That's my fault for not activating the tentacle. Yeah, if only I could do a little bit more damage, and then we'd be fine. I'm like just a smidgen off from being able to actually kill these. Oops. My bad. I don't know if you still dislike grapple, but I remember in one of the videos talk about how it was crap against the giant, but your tip is to aim it like it's Hokuto. Don't think of it as a normal grapple. So only use it for the damage boost, is what you mean? I think I have to hit something for the damage boost, though. Wait, where am I? Yo, the movement. Miles Morales. How do you activate random skin? It's only in custom mode right now, unfortunately. I'm actually dodging attacks with Tentacle. That's hilarious. Yeah, so if I look at a regular attack, do like 300. If I do grapple behind, it does the same number. So I don't know if you mean to like not try to interrupt the monster. But yo, if you got more tips, I'll take them. I need Dead Cells tips. And that's not a cap. Hello. Ooh, did I not interrupt the... I have to go down there anyway and aggro my worm. Wombo combo. Alright, so that's my bad. That's a promenade moment. Sort of a how dare I go to promenade? Like, why would I ever go promenade? I knew it was dilapidated. Arboretum. I knew that was the choice. But I decided, you know what? Maybe this is a rare promenade build. Never before seen world premiere promenade run. I lied to myself. You gotta know deep inside. Oops. These are backwards. See within yourself. Know that you're lying to yourself. That's the way. Yo, Blaze, good to see you. They should add it. They should add in another drop from spoiler. Only if you have all the outfits unlocked. Sorry, I'm gonna assume just anything that gives me more random stuff in Dead Cells, I'll take it. Get womboed. We got some gamers in Promenade. That's why you don't go there. Going to Promenade is just like going to a locals for a fighting game, or maybe you're a Magic the Gathering player. Maybe you play Pokemon, I don't know. You're out there using your favorite flying Pikachu deck, but for some reason everyone at the tournament is using like Regigolem, Tyranitar. Like, I don't even know busted Pokemon. This is so sad. What's a busted Pokemon? Is there such thing? There has to be, right? I feel like saying things like Mewtwo and Zapdos, that's like boomer stuff. I think the Pokemon are well beyond Mewtwo and Zapdos at this point. Like the Rayquazas of the world. Those are strong Pokemon. Wow, I thought I could interrupt that with the grapple. All Pokemon from Kalos region? What in the world's Kalos region? Is Kalos black and white? Zancian? What's a Zancian? Kalos is Generation 6. Xerneas, for example. Now that sounds like a busted Pokemon to me. Xerneas. Oh, is Xerneas the elk? The deer? I didn't know the deer was OP. Do I really want to go toxic? Not really. It is the deer and it is busted. Ah. Yeah, but I feel like anytime I look at the Pokemon trading card game, the only things that people draw up where they're saying, oh, this is $40,000 Pokemon card. First edition. Stamped. It's stuff like Rayquaza. Like, I've never seen the deer as a $20,000 Pokemon card. Did they just not do the deer justice? Need to include steel types with high defense just to counter it. That's the, one of the Reggie Pokemon are steel, right? Or maybe they're using the four-legged steel spider crab looking thing, whose name I don't know. I really don't want to go toxic with this. I think it's Arboretum. Yo, Charcy, does this build have suggestions for mutations or something in the backpack? Nothing for backpack. It does have specific mutations. Those, if you want to see, they're an exclamation point BOTD, build of the day. But it is actually Kill Rhythm, Heart of Ice, and then my choice between Gastro and Soldier's Resistance. We ever tried mobile Dead Cells? I've been stuck in 2BC. When I last tried mobile, I think I tried mobile in January, and my mobile emulator is not functional. Wait, maybe I'm supposed to play this Brutality. It's just all the mutations are survival. So surely I should play this survival. Like, Corrupted Power, Tentacle, Grapple Hook, none of that stuff really cares if I'm survival or not. But, like, I'm a little worried that, like, I need the Tentacle's damage, but I know it's not. Ooh. Are we talking about the trading card game or the video game? So I was under the assumption that the video game and the trading card game are just, they're like synonymous in terms of bus station. Like, for example, a Ampharos, the little like electric giraffe, I would assume not busted in either one. If you're gonna tell me that, no, V, the electric giraffe is actually one of the strongest Pokemon in the game, I'm completely out of the loop. Stats don't exist in the trading card game.
Chat.
But they can't just like automatically make a little sheep Pokemon be OP, right? Yo, Uchiha Shai. Oh no, that was Slimy. Continuing a sub that they got from Aro. Slimy, good to see you. Slimy, we were talking about you when it comes to Tower Fantasy. We played that on Saturday, I believe. A Xerneas card could have two printed versions. One's nutty, the other is terrible. I just didn't know the deer had it like that. What was Y? So if the deer is X, what animal is Y? The grapple's kind of fun. Like, using Tentacle. Oh, I think we want the poison. Because now I can do poison on hit. Y is Yivtal? Sounds like a Final Fantasy NPC. It's a bird? Oh, yeah. I remember. I didn't play those games, but I don't know a world where someone picked the deer over the death bird. Not being toxic or anything. It's just like, if you have two 8-year-olds and they're like, Mom, Dad, somebody, Grandpa, Grandma, get me a Pokemon game. I don't know if they would pick the deer.
I will remain subbed until I win a Marbles Race XD.
Yo, Salty. Yeah, they've been doing you dirty in the Marbles territory. But I'm looking for the Salty comeback. I believe. Zygarde is the better of the three. Zygarde. Isn't that like an alien or something? It's the black and green thing, right? We're talking Pokemon, by the way, for those who don't know. See, I feel like that's unfair. Like, in a world where you're a deer and the competition is an alien, how are you supposed to compete against that? Wait, where'd the worm go? What? It got the alley-oop. Yo, Lebron worm. Yo, Henry. 3rd month in a row? No, 3 months. Tier 1, 6 months in advance. They're throwing out numbers I've never seen before, but Henry, thank you for that ongoing massive support. Appreciate it. Zygarde is not an alien. It's a wolf, a snake, and a giant all combined. That sounds like an alien to me, buddy. What happened to the actual alien in Pokemon? The red thing that like could be human form and then it could be like other forms too. Why is that not OP? It even had a movie. I bet the deer doesn't have a movie. No, not Ditto. It's an actual alien Pokemon. I swear. I'm not making it up. Someone saying V with the aliens again. I'm telling you, it's real. Deoxys, that's the one. Why is that not a busted Pokemon? Sick cheese? Have the devs talked about supporting Dead Cells ongoing, or do you think they'll stop and move on? So, funny story, Dominator. The devs had said that 2023 is going to be quite possibly the biggest year for Dead Cells. I don't know what that means. They have already said that they have fall and winter's update already planned for this year. Fall is boss rush. And then after boss rush, oh my god, that actually hit me. After boss rush, we assume it's like holiday gifts. We don't know what it's going to be, but it should be something that we've always wanted. Whatever was on your Christmas list, Dominator, that's what you're getting in December. Well, probably not December, I'd assume January. We want a poison damage war spear. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Huge. Yeah, so whatever biggest year in Dead Cells means to you is what we're getting before the game ends. Deoxys is busted AF. It has an attack form. Yeah, I feel like if someone were to draw up a Deoxys from a box of Shining Legends or something, I'd say that's probably a 20,000 Pokemon card, right? A matter of fact, if I get any less for my Deoxys, I'll assume that the company's trash who I'm buying it from or selling it to. They better have double the content ready. Your Christmas is double the length of a run, or just double the length of stuff. Because I can tell you right now, like, if Dead Cells run gets any longer, I might be in trouble. Like, it's hard enough for me to get the, like, sponsored stuff out, but then to get first looks of stuff, when the Dead Cells run is 3 hours long, might be in trouble. This is bad. Ooh, never mind. Double the length of stuff. Got it, got it. Yeah, I mean, get your list ready. A matter of fact, maybe that's something I can do. I can just have like a Discord channel of give me everything you could possibly want, and then we review it. Have you actually played a Pokemon game, V? I played Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Heart Gold. If you're telling me that there's another Pokemon to be played, that is news to me. Deoxys is mythical, and those are rarely allowed in tournaments. See, busted, $20,000 card. You can't even use it in tournament. Matter of fact, you go to the flea market, you see some 8-year-old who is looking at the Pokemon cards, and you tell the 8-year-old, hey, this Pokemon card right here, you're not allowed to use this in the tournament. I'll be taking $100, please. What weapon would I like to see in Dead Cells? What is missing? I gotta think, and a lot of times what I do is I look at other games like Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur has like a lot of weapons in it. We did already get our nunchucks, so that's fine. I feel like we don't have enough big swords in this game. Like, we have Giant Killer, but I don't think the Giant Killer does what I wanted to do in terms of a big sword. I want to have, like, flips. Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Like, basically, imagine... Oh, I think Blade Assault has it. Yeah, so there's Broadsword, but I want to do flips. I want to, like, slam down on the monster with the sword. Like, use the sword to, like, alley-oop myself over the monster. Then, like, yeet the monster at the next one. Then, like, you throw your hand back, throw the sword at the monster, teleport to the sword, take it out of the monster's belly, knock it upwards, do a jump aerial attack. Maybe there's, like, a motorcycle in there or something. I don't know. Give me a shotgun while you're at it. We do have a shotgun in the game already, but I want to offhand the shotgun. Okay, I'm pretty sure Grapple Hook does 60% bonus damage. That's actually super interesting. We're gonna go with Gastro next. I'm a little worried that I'm not fully utilizing the Heart of Ice. I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine. Maybe this is the map where you do grapple more. Any monster that's scary, like any slasher, gets a grapple hook to the face. And then maybe you can spam the grapple hook. A yo-yo weapon? Yo, Bridget in Dead Cells? That's an OP weapon. Tier triple S. You can actually, what can you do with that? So you can throw the yo-yo out, the yo-yo floats in front of you, and then you can Blanca style, like, roll to the yo-yo and hit every monster in between. That's something. Oh god, why did they come up here? How did I aggro those? I was nowhere near. Scary. Spidey fears no man is what I meant to say. One more. There we go. That's what we like to see. Odachi would be the big sword. So you mean a gigantic katana, right? Oh my god. I couldn't dodge roll after that grapple. Yeah, so there's like Kodachi, which I assume is like the mid-sized katana. And then I will assume an Odachi is the full-size katana. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm not well-versed. That curse clear was a butt clincher. Yeah, the Rampager and Runner was probably the biggest issue. See that? You gotta admit, that's kind of entertaining. Being able to whip sling to the monster. And if they don't die, you just grapple on the other side. Oh my god, I hit the wrong thing. Somehow, I activated Corrupted Power without even realizing it. Odachi is comparable to Greatsword. Got it, got it. Yeah, I'll take anything like that. Though to be fair, I saw a really good video earlier. I mean, I guess really good is, you know, subjective, but we were checking out Loot or Die earlier, and someone posted a video from Bilibili. For those who don't know, that's Chinese YouTube. And the person, the content creator or video author, whatever you want to call it, the player, was just showing off the kinds of tricks you can do in Dead Cells. And there were a lot of katana tricks that I've actually never seen before. And it makes me want to try katana, but I don't want it to look too boosted. Peace out. There's the other one. Nice try. Never mind. I am... Oh, Abner, that was you. Yeah, link me, Abner. Because though to be fair, like anyone who may have already seen it from Loot's channel, you may already know all the stuff, but I certainly didn't know half of the things I saw. Unlucky. Oh my god. Okay, so I can see this build kind of has an issue with mobs like this. Basically, flying monsters are the issue. Because with the tentacle blocking my my path, I can't get to the freaking hammer. I can only tentacle to the flies. Gotta fight this. Yeah, tentacle allows you to go behind the monster, oddly enough. You can get the mix up. Not bad. We were talking about Guilty Gear Strive earlier, putting Brigitte? I think it's Brigitte in Overwatch. Either one. Put either of those in Dead Cells and we have a busted setup. Ooh, okay. They were posting that after? What do y'all think of the build so far? From what you're seeing, is this too big brain, you think? Like doing the tentacle gameplay? V, I work a 9 to 5. I am not trying to use my brain in Dead Cells. Or does this look like, yeah, you press 2 buttons, you're pogged out. V, I've never pressed 2 buttons before in Dead Cells. You taught us only stick to 1 button. Any more than that's overkill. I didn't know. He didn't know. I'll take the star. Push back the enemy when it ends. Interesting. I wonder how big the knockback is. Food? No food? Moras. So we're going against either Conjunctivius, Mama Tick, or Concierge. Obviously, we don't want to do Concierge. That might be too easy. Conjunctivius, we have Tentacle and Grapple. Maybe that helps us keep up. And then Mama Tick. I think this might struggle against Mama Tick. So let us try Conjunct. Even though it's kind of weird to say that War Spear would be good in Conjunct. Alright, let's check out this video. We had one person say that we should have a channel points redemption. Give us a way to submit videos to UV for review. Abner, we're gonna say that you got a coupon. Free video review. Don't tell anybody though, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I saw that, Slimy, thank you. Yeah, I actually saw this earlier, so my reaction may not be fully genuine. Okay. But Slimy, thank you for giving it the thumbs up. Alright, let's swap over to Chrome real quick. This is a rare look at other people's video. I don't do this very often, but I kind of want you all to see this. And think about this from like an editing standpoint as well. Like V, I know, and I'm doing hand motions, you all can't even see me. V, I know that you do YouTube. Maybe I want this filter on my YouTube vids, maybe. Now let's take a look. I have no idea how Billy works. All I know is that I cannot have an HD account. Yo, phaser. Wait, how many times did she attack? Doesn't she only attack 3 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why in the world did she attack 6 times? Yo, that's the katana. Hattori's katana. Oh my god. Is this Metal Gear Revengeance? Ooh. The juggle? Yeah, we got some parry in here. Sorry for the potato quality, by the way. Yeah, I gotta level up my katana gameplay. Every time I do a tier list, it's without fail. Every single time someone comes in and says, V, you are literally trolling us with that katana pick. And it's like, I press square, 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 I hold the button down, and then I dash. Apparently, that's not how you're supposed to do it. I didn't know. Now this one's super interesting. If you look at this, Parting Gift, Blind Faith. You have Lacerator Aura. I think this got nerfed, by the way, this interaction here. If you look at these, every single bubble is Parting Gift, and the Parting Gift is activating from Assault Shield and Thunder Shield. So like, I get up, I parry this, which activates the AoE around me. I get another one, Assault Shield. Look at the parry after the Assault Shield. That's firing out more Parting Gifts. Look at the cooldown reduction. Never mind, it doesn't work. False alarm, false alarm. This is post-nerf. What am I looking at? I don't get it. At AZ, I assume that's a potato quality issue. That's my fault. I don't have a Billy account. Double? Wait. Double Tonfas. Does that do anything? I think it's just for style points. So it's like you get one overhead this way, and then they did the other overhead back. Yeah, and now you can do like 6 attacks this way. Are they playing keyboard? Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, Telluric Shock and Phase are their favorite items, by the way. The Assault Shield with the Katana also seems to have some weird interaction. Okay, not gonna lie, that's kind of clean. Okay. Clean, limpia. They also seem to be a very big fan of Lightspeed Dash. But between that and Telluric Shock, pretty good. That's always funny. When you're just inside a mess of eggs, spamming parry. See, I'm telling you, if I was playing Katana, not a single monster would die on that bridge. I gotta go in the lab. Okay, here we go. So dash, hold it, dash, hold it. Wait, how did this one die? Hold, dash. Double curse, double the pogs. Okay, that's pre-nerf. But yo, pretty sick. You just got the katana 12 minutes ago. Shogun, I expect you to have a Billy montage reel in the next 30 minutes. At me on Twitch once you have your montage ready so I can review it. I'm over here doing this. People over here running at 1,000,000 miles an hour with katana. I got to get on that. Maybe we gotta get the person for an interview. Maybe that's the deal. V's gonna start interviewing other Dead Cells content creators. Bank? So the question is, can I kill Gold Gorger like this? I have corrupted power, so maybe yes. Can you link the channel that looks like spicy montages? It's the one from Abner, right? The one that we just looked at, Rashid? Or are you asking me to get you some other montages? Which, honestly, I just get them from Reddit.
No.
Dead Cells on Reddit, I can't really trust going any further. Thank you, Slimy. Yeah, I saw the name too. Let me get the name. Because I think I follow this person on Twitter as well. Alkili? If I don't follow them on Twitter, pretend like I'm going on my phone right now and doing it. You can input skills / certain attacks during katana charge animation. Those things are top tier because they give you the iframes to do that. Okay. I feel like I didn't see those used except for the light speed at the very end on that bridge. But maybe before V tries to imitate that run, I'll do my homework. Wow. I guess I let this transform. Famous last words. I can't kill this thing. What in the world? Oh, that was the knockback. From the corrupted power. That was a pretty potent knockback, to be honest. I feel like they were also rocking velocity in a lot of the videos. And like, I don't really use velocity all that much unless I have like a specific build that I'm doing velocity with. So like, I don't know if maybe I want to start using velocity more often just to like get through a run faster. I feel like in some way, someone's gonna ask me, like, from a Susie's perspective, V, when you show Susie this build, should they be using it too? And I feel like the answer is no. The only reason I'm using Velocity right now is because I want to play Cult of the Lamb before the stream ends. Literally has nothing to do if it's good or not. Did you miss the first boss? No, we're 20 minutes in, and the boss is next. Legendary? Ooh. I want to say you get the iframes for quite a while you're doing the War Spear stuff. Oh my god. Why is this here? Just tank those. What was that doing here? I'm just minding my own business. Yo, I haven't gone beyond this stupid stun grenade in the last 10 minutes. Yo, my spear is better. I'm Swiss. I don't want to change my phone's language to Chinese. Do you have to do that to do the translation? It's not just automatically Chinese on Bilibili. It's almost like your phone is automatically changing it to Swedish, even though you actually need to see it in Chinese. Jeez. Hey, let me kill one monster, please. Grapple hook not that bad at close range. Like if you tentacle in. It's almost like after every tentacle, I should just hit the War Spear button. Bilibili has English, yeah, but the question is, if Alkali has a guide on the katana stuff, we gotta know the guide when we see it. Nice, nice. Swedish is not the same as Swiss. NA education moment. Is Swiss even a language? No, right? Why is toxic miasma here? Because I don't know why. I legit can tell you that it should not be here. And I've never reported it. I don't think toxic miasmas are in ossuary. I'm pretty sure they are only in corrupted prison. Now, maybe if this was a Undying Shores bank and Undying Shores bank, then there would be an argument to have, yeah, see, the colorless doesn't even do anything here. It just does the 50% no matter what. It's kind of awkward. I think that might be an oversight of sorts. Like, it no longer scales off color at all. Go ahead and grab this. Two different countries. Switzerland is a German-speaking country. Sweden speaks... Wow. Swedish. I was looking at chat. But who speaks Swiss? That's the most important question. What's the Swiss-speaking country? Alright, we're gonna go green. No one? Come on, it's gotta be one person. So you're saying that Swiss is an adjective and not a noun. Swiss is just a descriptor of things. Holy iframes. Sayonara, sucker. You lived? How did you live? Sayonara. Switzerland also speaks French and Italian. I took 5 years of Spanish in high school, and I feel like I know exactly nothing. Is anyone else in that boat where you took like multiple years of a language, got like good grades in it? It's not like you just slept in class. It's just, you know what? I don't know what I learned. It's not that I didn't learn anything. I don't know what I learned. Italian, yes. My mom is French. I understand it, but I can't write or speak it grammatically well. I feel like there's people that's the opposite. Like, I'd imagine hearing the opposite, as a matter of fact. Like, oh, I don't really speak it well, but if I see it written down, 100% I know what you're talking about. A matter of fact, don't talk to me in Spanish. Please write it out. I'm gonna just walk around with a notepad when I get to Guadalajara. You love Duolingo? We used to rock Duolingo, but then I got lazy. I think there may have been a monetization thing too. Like at some point, Duolingo wanted money from me, and that's when I uninstalled the app. Or rather, I didn't uninstall it, I just stopped opening it. I ghosted the app. That was really dangerous. Tried to speak French to a French person, they told you to stop. It sounded like a French redneck because you can't do the grammar. But did they understand you? See, I feel like it's a little bit of common courtesy that, hey, I'm in French. I'm in France. Sorry. I'm in France. I know for a fact that you don't want me speaking English. So, like, I gotta at least attempt. Give me points for attempting. Right? An A for effort? They're snooty about their language. I mean, we got some French people in chat right now, and I'm sure they would disagree, but I would assume that if I was in another country and I at least said the words, like the grammar could be wrong, but if I can at least say the words, like, come on. You gotta give me something. No, yeah, I think Fabe is our resident French. Thank you, Fabe. Get destroyed. Where's their zombie? We only want war spears that do poison. Wait, I forgot I need to do the mimic shop. Though to be fair, I have $40,000. I speak 2 languages, and whenever I find someone is struggling with their native language, you just switch to English. Do you want them to switch to English though? I think that's the big question here. So like, yeah, you speak the language, but maybe we want them to just work on the language. Like, I'm at the Louvre right now. And at the Louvre, I want to know where the gift store is. And I know the words for gift store, but do I necessarily know like the grammar of where the gift store currently is compared to where the gift store used to be? Maybe not. Like, maybe I'm using the past participle of where instead of using the current. Like, Spanish has that too, right? Where you're not using... It's like hacer versus ser. No, hacer is to make. Ser versus ester. Like, I need to know where it is now. I don't need to know, like, the state of the gift shop. But, like, I'm using to be. It's just, it's the wrong to be. I didn't know. But you know what I'm talking about. Yo, Phil, good to see you. We're talking other languages. Everyone in chat can speak multiple languages except for V.Me. So we're trying to figure out how that happened. I don't know how I feel about people trying to speak Mandarin, but whenever speaking... whenever someone tries to speak Mandarin, we Chinese seem to be pretty happy that someone at least tries. Yeah, that would be my assumption. Obviously, assumptions only go so far. But I want points for my efforts. Mimic check? Not a mimic? I feel like I can almost bet this is a food shop mimic. How we go from busted Pokemon to Duolingo? Because of something? Billy? Mimic check? Not a mimic? It's a food shop mimic. Hilarious. Alright, so I guess I may as well just use a health pot. Get the double health pot. That seems like the smart thing to do. We have $40,000, so it's not that bad. What happens when it transforms? There's an elite mimic? Wait, I got stunned. What? What in the world is stunning me? You all see that? Did they add new tech to the mimic? That I've never seen me get stunned by that thing before. Oh, we're totally getting a tier 3 mimic. I mean tier 3 gold gorger. Dang. Dang, I thought we'd get the iframes. There we go. Well, looks like I'm gonna need to use that other health potion. You know, I didn't really have to go this way, just to say that. What did we do besides lose $20,000? Like, did I gain anything just now? I feel like the answer is no. Get out of here before something bad happens. There could be a challenge rift in there. That's really the only thing that's viable to take. I will take a grapple hook though. I got XP, yo. I have so many runes right now. I'm gonna be over level by the time I get to what's her name? Maligma? I think that's her name. All right, looking good, people, looking good. Like all worthless. Though maybe I could get poison on this one, we'll be fine. You all don't remember Maligma from Elden Ring? Said to be one of the hardest enemies in all of gaming? How can you tell whether it's a mimic or not? You can't. So I said I can promise you it's a food mimic. That's me not lying. Lying's not the word. Basically, it's a 50-50 shot. So if I promise you a 50-50, then like 50% of the chance we're pogged up. Another 50% of the chance we're still pogged up because we got some other mimic. Like a mimic grapple hook, even though that's not all that great. All right, let me get the prediction up. For those who haven't seen the VeeDotMe predictions, these are 4-way predictions against the boss. 2 minutes on the clock, you all can cast your vote. Kage, I'm so sorry, Kage. I owe Kage for that segment just now, that bit. What kind of build is this? This is the viewer's build. The viewer says, V, you can use grapple hook and tentacle to get in range of the monster and then do melee attacks. If the monster's too far, you can grapple it, or if the monster is too dangerous, you can grapple. If the monster doesn't die after you do a tentacle war spear, you can grapple. If there's something too strong, you can do corrupted power. Why War Spear? Because the idea is that you go into a mob of monsters, you're tentacling the first monster, and that way you should land in front of the mob, and then you can War Spear the entire mob. You could do the same thing with like Hayabusa gauntlets or Swift Sword even, but with that, you just attack the single monster. What about bosses? The viewer says that's what the corrupted power's for. Why green? That might be me. I did not ask the viewer what the color was. All I said was that there's 3 green mutations, I should go green. That might be my bad, just to say that. I'm gonna reset also. I don't want Gastro anymore, I want Soldier. So yeah, it gives you an option to kill mobs. I'm sure other big weapons could do this. Like maybe you could do it with Oven Axe. I don't quite know. But it would be interesting to think that when you tentacle in with Oven Axe, then you can like hit multiple monsters. Maybe you can maintain the crit by moving with the tentacle. I think I would use Assault Shield if I was to do that, to be perfectly honest. Difference is that tentacle gives you iframes. Assault Shield does not. Phaser infantry bow? Not in a long time. I used to get recommended that a lot, but people fell out of love. And that happens sometimes. How do you get the love back, V? We can talk about that right after this fight. Get back here. Think you're going. Oh, the flotation though. Oh, that doesn't seem to pull the boss to me. I could have attacked there. Ooh, the freeze? Victor in the building. Dang. So to be fair, I've never done this build before, so I don't really know what I'm looking at combat-wise. I'm just kind of going. Ooh, that one worked. I could have commit for that, I think. I think I would have gotten the iframes. Okay, when corrupted power is active, it's actually kind of sickening. No corrupted. It's a little scary. You all don't know how badly I want to grapple hook that. Like, as it's going towards me. Ooh. Get back here. Ah. Oh no! I can't hit. It stopped right before it? It knew. It saw the tentacle go above its eye. How'd it know? Gotta be a dev in disguise. Has to be. 1 hour and 30 minutes into the stream and we're at the first boss. Rajit, that's the V.Me special. I'm telling you, I could not talk and just play. I could be speedrunning and just get to the boss and you all would be struggling for content, I think. B, you used to tell us all about Pokemon cards. You used to tell us about Buster. Now all you do is you walk straight to the boss in 20 minutes. That still seems like a long time. Make it like 10 minutes. Yo, legendary grapple burns the ground around you for free. Payment to chat. V gets the no hit. Believers unite. For those who haven't seen legendary grapple hook, also burning damage as well. It does 180% damage to the enemy, so it has been nerfed. But the idea of free fire on the ground while you're playing like brutality, not having to use a... Oh, look, I have oil sword too. Imagine oil sword legendary combined with grapple hook legendary. That's a good build. Is it the viewer's build? It's not. But I can tell you, it's kind of good. Conjunct paid actress. I want to hit the I'm him button. But I feel like it's not like that legit. We'll save the I'm him for a no hit on the queen or something. I'm scared. Stars. But see how I'm able to like close the gap with the tentacle? What are you doing down here? Like I'm just suddenly on the monster and I had no idea. That's the vision of the viewer. The viewer knows how that works. I didn't until today. It's impossible to not choke on this map. So when I choose when I choose Slumbering Sanctuary, I choose it because I am often not going here very often. I'm actively deciding when was the last time I went to Slumbering Sanctuary. Dang, we lose our poison. I think I'd rather have the poison, to be honest. I think about when was the last time I've been to this map. If it's been a while, I say that, yeah, let's go for it. I look at the build, and I think of, is this build good in Slumbering Sanctuary? Do I have a shield? And do I have something like Pádhraic H to clear through demons and the orb chasers? If yes, then I'll go. If my build is trash, I will think, okay, how married am I to the run? How good would it be if I died? From a viewer perspective. Like, how interested in the run will the viewer be if I die? That's very important. You all don't know, like, that's a metric that I keep track of, is if I were to use this build that is hot garbage in this area, is the viewer pogged up? They might be, they might be. I'm not picking up the colorless tentacle because this tentacle does poison and enhances my war spear. I feel like an enhanced war spear is better than a single tickle. As a viewer, Sanctuary is enjoyable. As a player though, ... I mean, look at this. I'm cursed and I have 2 elites in front of me. One there and then one on the other side. And this thing's staring at me. So... kinda gross. Oh. Oh, invisibility. Wow. Let's cloak up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. They don't know. Chat, they don't know. See? Not that bad. Not that bad. You thought we were afraid of this map. Mm-mm. I was born, I was molded in Slumbering Sanctuary. If that wall actually hit me, I think it would have uninstalled. This map needs teleporters. It's specifically designed to give you no teleporters until this spot. So the way how the devs envision the map is that you have to walk to the first button, and then you either go backward and you clear all of those monsters, or you go forward. That's by design. Like, would I love more teleporters? Absolutely. But that's against the vision. You just got Splatoon 3 ad? Yo. Anyone in my chat, can anyone raise their hand and tell me that they have played Splatoon before? Either Splatoon 1 or Splatoon 2? Oh, I thought I was gonna do something. Hand is raised in anger. You play Splatoon 2? Alright. So in the event that, let's say Splatoon 3 comes along the pipeline, I will assume that I have at least 2 people who could walk me through how to play that game. For a long time, I had never been to the sewers after the first time because the worms scared you, so you found out that there's another biome. You discovered Conjunctivius, the Spider Rune, and fortified biomes all at once after playing the game for 2 years. That's actually a complaint that some people have, Babe, is that you could keep going to Promenade over and over and over again and the game will never stop you. And that's seen as a complaint because, like, you don't know. You don't know. He doesn't know. Or she doesn't know. Or they don't know. Does playing it for 10 seconds count? You're already more qualified than I am? Ooh. You okay, buddy? That thing just leaped down to find me. Not that serious. But yeah, I've seen that as a complaint. I don't remember if it was Steam forums or if it was Reddit. It would almost be as if, which they actually did that at some point, they added a pop-up when you beat the game for the first time and says, by the way, you can add a boss cell to the tube and increase the difficulty. That was never in the game for the first almost 2 years the game was out. And you'd imagine, well, how do you not know to put the tubes in? And if you think about it, there's nothing stopping you from just walking right by the tubes and playing the game on 0 BC for the rest of your life. Not to say that that's wrong to do that, but just the game to like nudge you in the direction is helpful. Revita. Revita is a twin stick shooter. For the longest time, I never knew you could get max HP in Revita. I always thought max HP was a random drop, and that's why I didn't really care for the game, because I wasn't like that good to no-hit every single thing I came across. But then come to find out, I don't remember if it was a viewer or what, but someone told me, by the way, V, if you heal yourself while you're max HP, you'll gain max HP. I didn't know. Ow! Maybe I should have taken that grapple hook. The grapple hook does poison. Then I could have taken the other tentacle. Oh no, we don't want to get rid of our legendary grapple. Literally happened to you? You was playing on 0 BC thinking that you were on 1 BC for the longest time. Yeah, so you pick up the boss cell. The character like absorbs it into his body. You've seen that when it comes to runes. So you may think to yourself, oh, my character absorbed it, so why do I need to do something? It's an innocent idea. They didn't know. Kind of rocket science? What is that map generation? Sure. Oh no. Oh wait. My iframes are sick though. Get destroyed? Dang, that really dumps my HP down. Get destroyed? How are you all living? WTF? What's the WTF, Charis? Or Charcy, I'm sorry, Charcy. What'd I do? What's with all the whats? I didn't do nothing to nobody. Smoke bomb is basically really nerfed right now. Yeah, grapple hook. It still does bonus damage. It's just not giga busted. That's all. And maybe that's okay. Like, you won't one-shot the servants. Maybe that's okay. How'd you not get hit by that golem? I don't get hit by golems. The golem walked up to me, I was like, what you gonna do besides make me mad? And the golem was just, yo, okay. We're chilling. Maybe I could have taken a 10. Maybe. Maybe I'll just spend all my money chasing poison on hit tentacles. But yeah, I guess the non-troll answer, yes, I did have iframes off Tentacle. I mean, it's a purple tentacle now. It's still not the cursed version. So it's not like it's gonna do anything. But still kind of funny that we got it. AV is the diet still at cheese? Yes. It doesn't change until someone does the diet change with V-Bucks. Right, not bad, not bad. Lots of people make the mistake of trying to get to the 5th boss cell from Hand the King. I did a, I don't know if it was a reply on Reddit or if it was YouTube comments, but I actually did the response to one of those, hey, you gotta kill the giant instead. And the person was so happy. But also probably mad at the same time. But I get that one. Like, do you really, really want the mystery taken out? I don't know. I guess it's kind of like from a player standpoint, what value is there to that mystery? It's not like it's a super deep, story-rich game or something. Wait. How do I kill those? So I don't exactly know how you're supposed to decide to go to the giant. Aside from the fact that you just need to be killing every boss.
Yo V, love your stream.
No.
Keep doing what you do, heart.
Yo, hearts right back to you. Can we get some hearts in the chat? For Gebula, aka Gbula. Arrow 3 spam. Please and thank you. Please, TY. Yo, thank you for that. T2, no, T1 for the 2nd month. Almost a balanced blade, almost. Looking good. I think my only issue right now is I can't hit demons to save my life, literally. Yo, thank you, Phil. So our good buddy Kage Myth. I was talking to Kage about hair, because Kage has a bigger fro than I do, and more better maintained than mine. And Kage asked me, you know, V, when it comes to hair care, how much water do you drink? Like, to keep your hair and scalp hydrated. And I had to think about that, which is a bad sign. Like, if you have to think how much water do you drink, it is probably not enough. So I said to Kage, well, today I had a cup of coffee. And then, so that cup of coffee was at 8 a.m. I streamed at 7 p.m. So in the span of the 9 hours, I had not drinking anything at all. I had the 1 cup of coffee and that was it. So, like, it kind of thinks that there may be a hydration issue. And I've told you all before, like, I only ever really drink water on stream. Like, every hydration I get, that is, I have actually drank water today. And I'm not one of those people where it's like, oh, well, forget water. Like, water's just a conspiracy. It's got the fluoride in my toothpaste, and now the fluoride's in my water, and there's iodine and stuff. Like, you can't be drinking water. I'm not one of those kind of people. I just literally drank my coffee and did not even consider liquids for the rest of the day until it was time to stream. Oh my god. It's different. So Kage, I regret to inform you, I don't think I drank my water yesterday. On a Sunday. I believe I had tea, like iced tea that I made. And hey, there's a lot of water in that iced tea. That's like a whole Brita jug with some mix in it. That counts, right? You can't live a Baja Blast. I haven't had a Baja Blast in like a month, which is probably my lack of hydration. Thank you, Richie. You can even tell from my mental state. V, it doesn't look like you've had a Baja Blast today. Is everything all right? No, it's not. You should drink more? I mean, that's what I was told. I didn't not do it on purpose. I'm not thinking about it. So it's a completely different thing. I call it whatever you want. We also don't have water in the refrigerator because I don't really care for ice cold water. I'd like to have it lukewarm, please. So like when I open the fridge, I am also not remembering about water. I knew it. Oh my god, that's fine. We got most of our HP back. Just remember, too much water can hurt you. Now, here's the interesting question. The $1,000,000 question. If I have drank no water for a day, and all of a sudden I start drinking water, isn't that gonna hurt me? Oh my god, why do you have this? Right? By the way, I am not a medical professional. Please don't listen to anything I say in regards to anything, really. My goal was to just finish off this worth of water daily. I'm already behind. My god. Recently you've been drinking a bit each time there's a loading screen in your game and what? Popo, you just changed the game. Take a shot of water whenever you hit a loading screen. Yo, try not to laugh challenge. Every time you laugh, you have to take a swig of water. Popo. This is freaking bad. I can't get the demons. I think I lost my... No, I do have shoot an arrow upward. I wonder why my war spear is not hitting the demons then. Sick jump. Sick ollie. How do you get the drops and the shop to only give you those things? That is merchandise categories, Ryazaki. Merchandise categories comes from Graveyard. I want to say it's like a 300 cell mutation, maybe? It's one of the more expensive ones. Maybe 150? Oh, if you're asking about... So merchandise categories is this, where it gives you brutality, tactics, or survival, instead of the normal look, which is this, where it just gives you a random thing. That's merchandise categories. Custom mode is where we have locked out 90% of the weapons, so we only want to see these. Those are two different things. So hopefully you got the answer you needed. Alright, no more screwing up. No more demons. Demons are banned. Dang, I turn. That's fine. We ended up buying a health pot. We bought 2 health pots, as a matter of fact, for $20,000. That was a steal. And we needed those specifically for this map. Yeah, I gotta drink more water. I'm definitely open to more trade secrets, whatever you all do to drink water. Me and Airless have been playing some Gunfire Reborn lately. So maybe what I'll do is every time I pick up a weapon, or maybe every time I skip a weapon, I have to take a shot of water. There it is. I think that's my issue, is I can't swing at the demon fast enough. Yo, Anzia. Couldn't watch the beginning of the viewer build. This is Anzia's build, by the way. Anzia, we've been pogged up the entire day. We've seen never before seen levels of iframes coming from the tentacle. We've had golems just walk up to us and then say, nah, it was just a prank. We've been going past slashers, attacking them from behind. Like it's Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. And we're assassinating every slasher. The legendary grapple hook, giga busted. Corrupted power, pretty strong too in its own right. I think Tentacle could kill those if this was a colorless Tentacle. Oh, Anzia! Now that Anzia's here, they can confirm if this was supposed to be a brutality build or if this was supposed to be a survival build. I chose survival strictly because of the mutations, but can you please tell us? Okay, this was green. Thank you. Holy smokes. If you're not eating too much salt, you don't need that much water because there's water in your food. So the issue fighting samurai is that I was instructed to drink more water and I need to incorporate that into my routine somehow. So right now it's a matter of V. You got instructions. Think of it from like a coach standpoint. Let's say I have a fitness coach and I didn't do my reps. V, why didn't you do the reps? I didn't think about it. My bad, coach. My bad. I was at home. I loaded up League of Legends. I didn't do my reps. Now, if the coach said, oh, V, I got the perfect thing for you to do. If you're playing League of Legends, in Champ Select, after you pick your champion, do your reps. I know you're just sitting there. I know you already have your rune pages done. I know you have 10 rune pages because you're an OG player. Just do your reps then. That's what I need. Get destroyed? Please let there be 6 monsters left. Just drink water when you're thirsty? Look. You won't believe me if I tell you okay, I gotta like actually strategize how to explain this. So what I want to say is I don't get thirsty. And like obviously that's not factual. But I will tell you, if I'm in the middle of something, those human urges don't happen. I'm getting up because someone is going AFK. Like, no lie. If I was in a squad playing some Fortnite and someone said, be right back, I gotta use the bathroom, suddenly I have to use the bathroom. But all throughout that process, I don't. No cap. I'm telling the truth. You don't thirsty if you are always thirsty. Cap, that's my secret. A matter of fact, drinking this water, like, has actually made me thirsty. So I guess thank you, chat, for making me remember that thirst exists. Because I can tell you right now, before this conversation, I wasn't thirsty. The more water you drink per day, the more thirsty you get. You're saying I have to condition my body to remember what thirst is? It's almost like muscle atrophy, but I have thirst atrophy? Really? If I'm super busy at work and focused on what I'm doing, I don't really get thirsty or hungry because your brain is focused. Yeah, and I don't want to say like, you know, I'm special. I don't get thirsty. I'm like the Wolverine of thirst. I always regenerate my own hydration. That's not the case. I literally am not thinking about it. Alright, we're going up. Somehow we're at half malaise. What are the chances I get destroyed by Scarecrow? I'm trying to think, like, if I go in, the issue is Scarecrow doesn't get stunned. So using Grapple Hook on the Scarecrow is not that good. But I'm wondering, I feel like both of these bosses are equally bad. 100% chance I get destroyed. See, again, I have to consider how good is it for me to get destroyed? Like, does the viewer need to see me get destroyed here? Or do they need to see me not? Scarecrow's the run ender. Corrupted power will melt the fist. Okay, so that's the viewer. The viewer says go giant, we go giant. I didn't know. When does the viewer not want to see me get destroyed? When they paid 32,000 V-Bucks for the build. That's when. Let's... Oh, I already have a level 12. This is 80% damage compared to 300%. It's kind of cool. I wish I could take this. Let's look at how much health it gives me. I'm at 18,000. This takes me to 27,000. What patch is this? This is update 30 on the PC. Oh, we'll go down to 25 survival. But we're rocking corrupted power anyway, so I don't really think I need the survival stat. Famous last words. Let's get the prediction in here. One more look at the build. We have Poison War Spear with Toxicity Tentacle. Burn the ground around you, Grapple Hook. This could probably get a different star. Like, if we keep burning and just get another star, it would be fantastic. Bonus to poison, maybe we just keep that. Corrupted power, I don't think can get anything remotely helpful. So that's the build as we know it. Are you sure? When someone makes you play something like Rainbow Build, they don't want to see you get destroyed? I don't think so. I think they want me to succeed. No matter how troll the build is. Like, I've yet to see a viewer build where it's like, V, you win too much. We gotta do something about that. Alright, 2 minutes on the clock. Cast your votes. 4-way prediction, by the way. 4-way prediction. I'm gonna step away, refill the water, get some calories in me. I'm gonna run an ad at the same time. Ads help to support the channel. But other than that, I will be right back, everybody. All right, we are back. Once again, welcome to those of you here who are here for the first time. Those who are returning, welcome back. Right now we're playing Dead Cells. Do a lot of Dead Cells here. It's kind of our main game. We have a YouTube channel. A lot of Dead Cells content on it as well. Excuse me, wow. If you happen to like what you see, consider following the channel. I'm live Monday, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern. Saturdays, even earlier, 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. After this run, we're going into Cult of the Lamb. For those who haven't seen that game, that is half colony simulator, half roguelite. Really fun. We're about 8 hours into it. And then if I have time for something else after, then we will. But I'll probably end the stream off of Cult of the Lamb. Really good game. Either way, let's get into here. This is Giant. No! One of the hardest bosses of all the Dead Cells. I don't know if anyone has ever beaten the Giant before. I haven't been on Reddit lately. I've been told never go on Reddit. Not bad. Oh, Chunkster. Ooh. We actually got some crits. Oh my god, the grapple chunk. Oh my god! I was on the wrong side. Just jump away. Here we go. Ooh, send me all the way back to base. Literally yeeted me back to prison quarters. I was sick. And I look like I never even did the fight. Is Giant still here? Hello? What? Who? Wait, where all this stuff come from? Yo, free win? No Giant? He never spawned. There's just freebies lying on the floor. I guess we just keep same color stuff. I would like stats, to be perfectly honest. Time check, 9 o'clock. I kind of want to go servants. Is that bad? Can I get a Y in the chat if servants is bad? Or N in the chat if no V? Servants are actually legit? Just a simple Y or N? Though I guess it's like kind of a opposite where I'm saying. B gets the no hit, easy clap. New grapple hook, we could go double grapple hook if we wanted. 290% seems to be the most it gets. Doesn't really give me another fix either. It's 4 versus 4 and a star. I just don't know if I want to do the rerolls. Really, we'd just be trying to get burning poison again. Guess I should try it. To be fair, like, trying out grapple hook versus servants is probably important. Burning poison. Spreads oil and victims' remains explode. This thing has a ton of stuff on it. Wait, no, it's still only 4 things. My bad, my bad. I got excited. You play Cult of the Lamb until it's Cult of the Mutton. Are mutton chops just lamb chops? Is it the same food? Or if I were to go to Scotland or something, let's say I'm taking a EU sabbatical. Maybe I should have gone... I don't know about distillery here. Mutton is grown lamb? Are all lamb chops mutton chops then? Like, no one says that they're gonna serve you a leg of mutton. No, they say they serve you a leg of lamb. It's kind of sick looking. Oh my god, please die. Okay, this is the bad part. These get corrupted powers. Even though you would think to yourself, V, don't press the corrupted button versus the barrels. That is literally how they one-shot you. Literally. I get it, I get it. Calm down. It'll be fine. How did this run turn into worst biomes only run? That's the sauce that the viewer didn't know they asked for. Like, I know you like the #1 with the pickle, but you've never seen the #1 with the pickle and the cheddar jack, the Kobe jack. Or maybe a little bit of honey mustard on top of it. I'm not gonna eat it. But I know you're pogged up. Whoa, lag? Double. Double. Alright. Guess I'm going up. I appreciate you willingly going to distillery. Yeah, I don't think I would like to go to Infested Shipwreck with this because I don't have wave clear. If the grapple hook was something like Wave of Denial, I could definitely go there. Shipwreck, that is. But I don't have what it takes to get through Shipwreck like this. And from the look of it, monsters seem to stack up really nicely on this map. I had no idea. They just seem to love each other. I wonder why I was doing no damage. Was I missing? This is a top 10 gamer moment right here. What about that Spider-Man sling? Does that make you want to buy Spider-Man on a PC? Just came out. I bet victims freeze nearby enemies would have been nice with this. You have a huge 0% win rate on this map. Well, if I were to give a tip, obviously Masochist is probably the biggest tip I can give. But you always have to contest the freaking barrel. Like, if you run and you're playing on 4 BC, you might just run into more damage. So almost if you're gonna run, you have to go backward. It's gonna make this like map take a lot longer. But maybe I just don't talk. How about that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are there so many?
Bruh.
Oh my god, it actually misses. Alright, follow me. Alright, we got our key. Remember, we're going to servants. I would like to kill every monster so I can get my HP back up off some food. Come on. Which my corrupted power did electricity around me. It seems like they nerfed that. It's very difficult to get now. But that would help with all these bats. Yo, Petey. Guess I have to kill everything. Petey in the building. Okay, so this one, you can just do that. Oops. Oh yeah, sorry if I didn't give like functional tips for this map. I always go to this map with Distillery unless I have a survival build like this, where I already have 32,000 HP. That usually allows you to take some more hits. Ooh, did we just ride the barrel? It's kind of sick. Come here. There we go. That's what we would like to see. Okay, so there's our exit. We're doing Lighthouse. We just gotta clear out the rest of the map, find the food wherever it is. Apparently there's a crap ton of map left. How many viewer builds do you think you've done? Fabi, if you do exclamation point build list, they're all there for the most part. But we're calling this build number 101. But technically we've gone beyond 101 builds, because I wasn't counting them the right way when I first started doing this. Yo, another one. That is Fighting Samurai starter sword or bow only. Mutations are up to you. Yo, Merlin then gifting a sub to Fighting for that. So those are tough. Like, I don't usually have to refund viewer builds, but I would say that's a tough one. Yo, Nano, good to see you. Quick shout out to Nano before I go on my VeeDot rant. So I'm not opposed to doing a run with Rusty Sword or bow, beginner's bow, but we have to find a way to make it not a resident sleeper. As you all know, like, I'm streaming the game. We have to figure out how on earth do you play through a run with those items without the viewer falling asleep. Without me falling asleep. If I can figure that out, I don't mind doing the run. Might have to take it back to executive leadership to try to figure out what that is. I'm definitely open. Like, if some of you all in chat were to tell me, V, like, rest assured, my God, if you were to do a Rusty Sword run, I'll be there. 100%. I'll be dialed in. I'll be so pogged up. I don't know if that's the case, really. Just in time for VeeDot rant, I was doing some speed running, but without much success, but had fun nonetheless. Yo, that's awesome to hear. I'm definitely one of those people where I want to have fun, and I always worry that fun might not be had. I'm happy to hear that you did. Yo, Foolish, good to see you. But yeah, those kind of challenges, Rusty Sword, bow, that kind of stuff, On paper, definitely sounds great. Is this troll? No, I think I can open it now. And now, like, whatever was in the way is open to me. Okay, so now we follow it. Oh, there's another one. Oh my god. Please. Now I think I need this one closed again. So now it bounces there, goes down. So now I need the other one closed. And to be honest, like, this is a really cool room. I actually think they designed this one super well. Okay, so now the way is open. There's our food that we wanted. And I'm leaving. I have seen enough, I think. Oh my god, there's so much map over there too. I'm getting out of here. Can you roll through those spikes? I assume they just want you to use your head there. Like, if I had a way to get all my HP back without using a health pot, I would go for it. I'm all for the science, but today's science has not succeeded. Rusty Sword is doable, but Starter Bow is hard. It's not really a matter of like what's easy and hard in terms of do I want to do it. It's more so around like how do you maintain the viewer's interest. Now you could speedrun. You could just like try to dash by everything and only fight the bosses. And doing that with just a Rusty Sword seems difficult. But at least you only have to worry about keeping the viewer's interest for the bosses. But outside of that, like if I'm fighting against a failed experiment that's taking me 20 minutes to kill, like if each biome takes me 30 minutes to full clear, it's gonna be a little rough, I feel. Why Heart of Ice? Do they get stunned? I want to say they get stunned, but the Heart of Ice was for grapple hook spam. Every time you do Heart of Ice, the monster is stunned for 1 second. You can hopefully do another grapple hook after. Just talking should be entertaining enough for a Rusty Dagger run. I hope so. Predictions up, by the way, on if I get the no-hit or not. Full build. We have poison, extra damage on War Spear. The only thing that can make that better is burning oil damage, I feel. I guess I have the money. I could try to fish out some affixes. Not that. So we got the burning oil. Bonus from the back. That's better than poison damage. We're still gonna keep the poison because the poison works with our grapple hook. If I were to get poison plus burning, that would be even better. But I'm gonna assume it's too difficult. $30,000. Did I troll myself? Okay, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Bleeding comes from this thing. So let's assume this works. You feel like the arrows on the bow will be the major factor? Yeah, if it's literally bow only, I can see that. I could run Ripper and like down slam to get my arrows back. But with only that as my weapon. No grenade, no shield. I can see that being a little bad. But the idea of barb tips or networking with a starter bow is pretty funny, just to say that. Yo, nice skin. Nice drip. We got the gold skin. Blending in with the background, you can barely see me. Broke people can't see me with the skin on. Alright, I should one-tap this, to be honest. Like, corrupted. Grapple. Confirm if it stuns or not. I did not one-tap the monster. Did I lose HP from the freaking burning? I'm having trouble. Okay, so that was a stun. I definitely saw that. That looked a little odd. Do you think that counts as a hit? We'll see if it gives... Well, there's no legendary at the end, so it's kind of hard to confirm. I feel like I'm not going to count that as a hit. I want to be hit by the monster. If I legit fall in, that's a whole nother issue. Which I think definitely counts. Oh my god, alright. You win, you win. It's just a prank. Alright, sick. Oh no! Oh my god. She like 360 no-scoped me. I was falling down and she got the snipe. It's messed up. 10 melees in the building. Spikes should count. What boss am I getting hit by spikes? That was a sick dodge by Callio. Wait, she's still alive? Still alive, are you? How did she not burn out? I don't know if that's worth it. Like, there's some moments when they don't take damage. It's a little awkward. Oh no. But I can reliably say that grapple hook is not really popping quite like it used to. At least in this fight. Like on biomes, very, very good. They did make the servants not get one-tapped anymore. You can no longer do that. But I thought they gave them a 30% damage cap. Oh, this isn't the top? I wanted to do some damage. Okay. So grapple hook against Cleo, mid combo, I think she's gonna still tag me. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm dumb. Should probably use the tentacle at some point. Oh my god, why does that do that? Does that mean I can't stop her? Sonic OP? Surely tentacle works. Right? That's good, right? V, where's that colorless freaking tentacle that you had? That thing would have been great right now. I mean, I didn't know. I thought I could pull her in, it would interrupt the Sonic the Hedgehog, she'd stop spin dashing, and we'd be chilling. I had to try it. If I didn't do it, Susie was gonna do it. My favorite streamer never told me I couldn't grapple hook Cleo mid-spin. So that's my fault. I gotta be able to showcase that. Can you pull Queen with the hook? Brigitte, we're gonna find out. Okay, V got destroyed. New predictions up. Yeah, it was really weird. Some of them were living with like 1 HP. Like they wouldn't burn out or anything. I don't know what the percentages were, but it had to be a single digit. Build stays the same, I believe. I will use a health pot before I go in. Just because I don't want to have to worry about it mid-fight. Alright, we got this. Chat. This is in the bag. 100% winnable, by the way. 1,000 cells. Whoever gets the correct prediction gets 1,000 cells. Please don't count on 1,000 cells. That's a lie. I wish I could donate them to you all. Like, if there's chat integration in the game already. You can register your Twitch account in Dead Cells. I need it for, like, the viewers stuff. You all need it for cells. And if I could say, okay, if I get the no-hit, then whoever submitted the build gets 1,000 cells. Congratulations. Don't spend it all in one place. I know Anzia would love 1,000 cells right now. Thank you for the hydration, by the way. I can see it in Anzia's eyes. They love 1,000 cells. The other thing that's missing from this game, and I actually asked for this a long time ago, was having Twitch chat names in the game. So say for example, there's an elite that spawns. That elite would be Rookie, who did the hydration. And like I could say, oh my god, Rookie's a freaking slasher. Rookie, you're banned. If you hit me, you're actually toxic. Or it's like Anzia is like a gold gorger. And it's like, Anzia, oh my god, I'm just gonna give you the game. Here, you're the streamer now. But they weren't able to do that. Chat, there were limitations. You need those cells for your brain? According to chat, because I'm not drinking enough water, I'm in the same boat as you. Alright, I think everything works on this boss. I just have to not get parried, I think. Okay. Big hits. Big pulls. Ooh! Where you going? Okay, a little too much action. Oh my god, I didn't know what she was doing. Crap! Don't even try it. Where you going? Don't do it! Oh, the one tentacle play. Oh, the one tentacle to save them all. I didn't know. I didn't know that's what I needed in my life. corrupted power grapple hook, whatever. That's in there. I get it. The tentacle though? The tentacle though. Into the I keep wanting to say wrenching whip. Into the war spear? Yo. That's what we needed. Literally lost all my predictions. Casper, I would have voted the exact same thing you did, so they don't even feel bad. Been sleeping on that tentacle? That, no comment. I would have done no hit if I wasn't broke. You can do a prediction with only 10. You don't have to be rich. Yo, oh my god. Who wants the 1088 cells? Can I get a me smile in the chat? Me smile? If you want the 1088 cells. In the meantime, I'm going to set up a prediction. Not a prediction, I'm sorry, a poll. To rate the build. Rate the build. You can either give it a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, Nana? I think? Go? Broke Nana? Or I don't know any other language to say 6, but poll is up. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in for the Dead Souls segment. It's Hachi. What's Nana? Is Nana 8? I thought Hachi was 8. I don't know. What am I freaking talking about? This is whatever. All right, let's pay out the chat. Rare no hit, by the way. Nana is 7. Oh, Hachi 6. Yarzi. Let's go. All right. So I will pick a theoretical winner. Remember, I cannot give cells away because there's no such thing. But I'm going to say, as a matter of fact, you're all winners. Everyone in chat gets 1,000 cells when you wake up tomorrow. Check underneath your pillow. V left 1,000 cells on your pillow. Don't thank me. Alright, man. I wish I could. I really do. But we got next game. We have Cult of the Lamb coming up. Those who have not seen Cult of the Lamb, fantastic new roguelite slash cult simulator. The best roguelite lamb simulator on Twitch. Do I need to put a tooth under your pillow? I know you said a teeth, and I feel like if you have... No, I think I had that one year where I had multiple teeth under the pillow. Yo, we were giga stacked that year. Probably enough to buy one Sega Genesis cartridge. But yeah, thank you to everyone tuning in for the Dead Souls segment. We're moving on now to Cult of the Lamb. I'll tell you all about the game once we load it up. Fantastic game. Who got the cells? Motion Twin got the cells.